In a remarkable cross-border investigation, the FBI has captured a Nigerian individual who, operating out of South Africa, masterminded a complex worldwide swindle. After years of eluding punishment, the fraudster was apprehended in a joint operation by South African and American law enforcement. Please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell so as to get all our updates. It is thought that the suspect, whose name has not yet been made public, was the mastermind of a complex fraud network that preyed on gullible people in many different nations. Millions of illegal earnings were allegedly made by the fraud, which ranged from romantic scams to complex corporate email compromise operations. These proceeds were then transferred via complex money laundering procedures. The fraudster pretended to be a genuine business owner and operated out of a humble Johannesburg home, blending in with the neighborhood. However, officials quickly became aware of his lifestyle, which included expensive automobiles and high-tech devices. Investigators finally arrived at his house as a result of this ostentatious show of riches. The arrest was carried out in coordination with South Africa's Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, (HAWKS), by the FBI, which had been pursuing the suspect for more than 2 years. Law enforcement officers conducted a well-planned raid on the residence and found a wealth of evidence, including bank records, fake papers, and computers that connected the suspect to fraudulent operations all around the globe. The suspect is charged with wire fraud, identity theft, and money laundering in a federal indictment filed in the United States. He may spend decades in prison in the U.S. if found guilty. Concerns over South Africa's allure as a safe haven for transnational criminals have been rekindled by the arrest. Experts caution that the nation is a desirable hiding place for fugitives due to lax enforcement and corruption in certain organizations. Although they are relieved that the culprit was apprehended, community members have demanded tighter border restrictions and more oversight of foreign people. This arrest demonstrates how international crime uses South Africa as a base. According to a local activist, the system has to be tightened. The arrest is a clear reminder that even the most crafty con artists cannot avoid punishment indefinitely, especially because extradition procedures are still in progress. Once more, a sad tragedy in Villa Lisa has caused considerable indignation and left a community in grief. There have been shockwaves across the region after reports that an illegal Somali alien shot and murdered a South African youngster. In addition to causing sorrow, the tragedy has increased tensions in the neighborhood. People in the area acted quickly after the gunshot. Following what has been characterized as a lengthy and intensive pursuit, the culprit was caught by community members. Before the culprit was turned over to police, the community apparently took things into their own hands in their fury and rage over the needless tragedy. Because of the injuries he received during the chase, the suspect is now in the hospital. He is still being held by the police as they look into the incident's circumstances. The teen's untimely death has rekindled discussions in South Africa about topics including crime, illegal immigration, and public safety. The adolescent was a lively young man with a bright future, and the local community has expressed profound sadness at his passing. Numerous locals have demanded justice and urged authorities to make sure the suspect is held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. In order to avoid such tragedies in the future, the situation has also prompted demands for improved community police cooperation and more robust measures to combat crime and illegal immigration. The public has been reassured by law enforcement that the event is being properly investigated. Although local residents have voiced their annoyance, officials have advised them to maintain composure and let due process play out. The police have also underlined how crucial it is to resolve complaints legally rather than via vigilantism, which may exacerbate tensions and spark further violence. The difficulties that South African communities face, especially with regard to crime and social cohesiveness, are brought home by this episode. Many people hope that the adolescent will get prompt justice as the inquiry progresses and that action will be taken to avoid such unfortunate incidents in the future. In order to guarantee everyone